Morning everyone, and welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we discuss all things entrepreneurship and running. It is a fresh morning, about 1 degree today, but not too breezy, so again, okay running conditions. And it's Wednesday wellbeing. We discuss all things mindset, mental health related, and today's topic is the pride cycle and the importance of humility. So as always, if you like this episode, please give it a like and a comment, and let's get started. So, the pride cycle. Well, what is it? Well, hopefully it's pretty easy to understand when you think of the deadly sin of pride, and you know, the being so proud and wanting yourself perceived in a certain way. You know, not being embarrassed of failure, all these types of things all comes under that kind of pride emotion. And the pride cycle is really important because on your entrepreneurial journey, it is incredibly like a roller coaster. I mean, it's up and down, and you'll get successes, you'll get failures. And I think what some people do, and I've fallen into this category myself, so I know it, and it's so hard not to do it. You are who you are, your own person, you have your own beliefs, your own values. And I think the issue is when you start getting a bit of success, and you know, perhaps people you kind of hang around with, or friends, family, nearest and dearest, you know, perhaps you and they're kind of staying where they are, but you're improving yourself as an individual and getting success. Sometimes that goes to your head, and you can end up, you know, being a bit big time, kind of considering yourself better than others, which is completely wrong, and it's terrible. But sometimes you can't help it. I mean, there's lots of people that it's well documented about people's journeys. You know, I think James Corden was a prime example of. He said he turned into a right. I can't use the obscene language that I would use, but a right plonker when he was on the way up. He says he turned a horrible person. And it's only kind of, sometimes it takes some knee-jerk reaction to kind of kickstart you and understand the importance of humility. And this links with the importance of cycling as well. Now, cycling in the business term is, the business life cycle is as such. And hopefully people don't experience stage 4, but many of us do. Well, 9 out of 10 of us do, if you want statistics. But the business life cycle is start up, grow up, scale up, fail. And now every time you cycle, you get more resilient, more stronger. So you look at it from a positive, it's like wheels on a vehicle. The more wheels, the more time you've been around that life cycle, the more wheels you have, the more stable the vehicle is moving forward. So, but the issue is when people are starting up, and growing up in particular is a big one, that's when you start getting a little bit of success and you start thinking, oh, I'm really good, you know, this is great, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. And then you scale up and you start getting really good, and you start thinking, wow, you know, I'm really, really good at this. You know, you can do this, oh, you can do that. And you start getting that type of emotion. And it's only when, at that point, you've probably offended and people's perceptions of you have changed because of the way you've held yourself over that period of time. That it's only when the cracks start appearing and the business starts failing. Now, it doesn't always happen, but for 9 out of 10 businesses do fail. So clearly a lot of them kind of go around that full cycle, but it's only then you kind of eat humble pie, and it's like you realise, oh my God, what did I become? And it's only when you've cycled once you realise the true importance of humility, staying humble and staying true to your values and true to who you are as a person. And it's so difficult because you so easily get caught up in this kind of environment. And like I say, my journey or my portfolio, I started investing in property maybe 22. I was really young. I built a big portfolio into my mid-20s, and I was going to these kind of networking events and stuff, and you'd have these conversations, and I used to love it. You have these networking, oh, where are you in your property journey? And I'd go, yeah, I'm 24, I've got 58 houses or whatever I had at the time. And like people go, oh wow, this is amazing. And I used to love that. And it's hard not to as a young guy. And and they'd be going, oh, I'm just getting started in my journey. And I'd be like thinking in my mind, well, they've got nothing to offer me. I need to get rid of this guy and move on to somebody else. Shocking attitude. But that was who I was at the time, and I wasn't intentionally doing it. It was just subconsciously happening. I had a bit of success, had a bit of money on the hip, and bang, I turned into this beast. And it's only when it all came crashing down that I started thinking, and then I started going the other side then and playing my achievements down significantly. And I think that was really, really important for me. That journey to kind of modesty became really important in terms of not being someone who was just screaming out to the world, look at me, look at me. And even now I'm always conscious, but people think that my property journey, you know, I've had 96 properties at the peak. You know, we think we were cashing in 18.5 to 19 grand a month clear, you know, at our peak. Not there at the moment because we're at a very different stage, and we that was at the pinnacle. We came crashing down and we're back on the way back up again now. And the thing is, people say, oh, you've got loads of property experience, right? But I don't think of myself as a property expert because I've made every mistake in the book. Maybe that makes me more of an expert because I've got more experience, but I've been so humbled by the whole experience. No way would I put myself up there and say, oh, I'm an expert when I've failed. So who am I to say that? And it takes you the other side, but you can't overdo the humility and being humble aspect. You do have to sometimes celebrate and appreciate successes when you achieve them, but don't change who you are and be that person that you just look back on and think, oh my God, how was I that? And I think it's important to understand, because if you upset or offend the people on your way up, then coming down, you've got nobody to kind of support and help you. If you stay true to yourself and you've stayed close with them and kept up, you know, understood the important things in life, then those people will still be there to help and support you, because everybody's equal. Everybody has a different route, a different process, different journey. Nobody's better than anybody else. Some people challenge themselves and push themselves in different ways, but you need good people around you. There is a bit of a contradictory part here, because people, you know, what the successful people say is, you know, the people who are around you, you want to be surrounding yourself with like-minded people that to pull you along, and that is true to an extent, but not at the cost of lifelong friends and family. Sorry, but you know, I agree. Surrounding yourself with people of the same mindset will pull you along, hold you accountable, and I absolutely agree with that, but not at the expense of just going, nah, I don't want nothing to do with anyone better than you, because that's not the case. It might be that you want to surround yourself in those people in that environment to pull you along, to drive you forwards, but still stay humble and remember who you are, remember where you came from. And hopefully this is useful, because you know, it's just my experience. I've seen it so many times, and also pride is, you see it every single day on social media. You look at people, what they're putting out there, cars and, you know, cars on finance. Oh, look at me, I'm super successful. No, you're not. You've just got a big car loan that you've decided to take on that you probably can't afford to pay back, or it's not always the case, but so many people out there, you know, I've done a rent to rent, it's going to create these figures. You know, no, you've projected those figures, but the reality will probably be very different in terms of what actually comes into your bank balance. I know, because I've been there, done it, and I think people will paint a perception of who they want to be, and I'm a full believer in visualising where you want to go and who you want to be, and believing in that 100%. I really do, but we have to put a bit of reality behind it, and also understand that if you big yourself up, when things start going wrong, you have to eat that piece of humble pie. And I'd much rather do that in a way that is true to who I am, because I'm going to go up. I'm on the way up at the moment. I know that, but I'm also aware that there's going to be some downs in the not too distant future. That's just the cycle of an entrepreneur. I'm more resilient and I'm more able to deal with the downs these days, but that's still not to say I'm not going to get ahead of myself and say, woohoo, look at me, I've made it, because I'm far from that, and I'll never make it. I'm on a journey. Okay, as long as that journey is moving forwards in life, that's a successful journey, but it will continue moving forwards, and that's the name of the game. So to summarise, you know, pride is a sin. Okay, it's how proud we are, it's the perception we want to give, of ourselves. We can often exaggerate our position. We can often, when we get a little bit of success, it can go to our heads, and we can often, leave people behind and think that we're better and treat people as lesser, and that's just wrong. It's not right, and it's not true. And don't do that, because it soon becomes very humbling when things don't go as well as you want them to go, and you need that support network. And it's only then that it becomes very apparent of the person that you've become, probably subconsciously. So understand this now, be aware of it, and try and stop it happening. It's really difficult because I've done it, and I'm not proud of it at all. But because I've done it, and I've been through those pains, I won't do it again, that's for sure. And I stay true to myself now and don't get caught up in the moment. So that's it for me today. As always, if you've got any questions on this stuff, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If there's a bigger question, I'll do a separate blog episode and tag you in. If this is irrelevant to you, no drama, just unfollow me. You can still stay friends, but it'll stop cluttering up your social feeds. But do check out the link in my bio, where we're just about to launch the podcast and the blog accompanying the YouTube channel, so you can watch, listen or read my content moving forwards, and it's all catalogued nice and neatly by topic. So hopefully there'll be stuff in there that's very, very relevant to you at some point in your journey. So all that's left to say is that the Runpreneur blog was set up to help entrepreneurs and business owners overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, in my case running, as a release valve to process these pressures in the form of stress, whether it's daily, whether it's weekly. You have to process them, you have to analyse them, you have to gain clarity, process them, remove them, and move forward on your journey. If you don't do that, it's like pressure that builds in a pipe, and that pressure in the form of stress will grow and grow and grow and turn to overwhelm. Overwhelm will ultimately turn into anxiety. I'm just going past some people here, so bear with me. Hi guys, how are you, all right? And then anxiety leads to kind of panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and you're into the realms of mental health issues, which you really, really need to avoid, because it's a dark, dark place. Now, I've been there before. I've had businesses fail because of my inability to process these emotions. I've had business partners failure, business partnership failures because of it, and I've almost been bankrupt because of this. So I'm pretty well experienced in this stuff, and believe you me, it's a dark, dark place, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. And it's no coincidence that since I've been doing this run blog, every day for the past 9 months, I've made more progress in the last 9 months than I have in the previous 4 years. So that's pretty good social proof there. So my pledge to you is, if you are someone struggling with this, drop me a message, okay? There's no catch here whatsoever. Okay, we're just gonna jump on a call, and I'll talk you through some of the things I've done in my life that have made a massive difference, that I'm convinced are transferable to you and your life. Many have taken me up on this already, and I know we've made a real positive difference to many entrepreneurs and business owners' lives. And I always said, this vlog just helps one entrepreneur or saves one business, it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile. So on that note, that's all for me today. As always, if you liked this episode, give it a like, a comment and a subscribe. If you want to see similar content, check out the playlist link on each of my channels.